Hello, I'm Coercer, and we are watching games from Artifact Cup number 26. We've seen the first game of the finals between BBI Iain and me, Coercer. So now we can look at game 2 from the series. Let's just load that up. So the second game will be played on Kharak. BBI Iain has won the first game, and since this is a best of 5, one player needs to win 3 games. Now Kharak is my least favorite map, but let's see what happens. Now I've spawned down here in the south as the Galcian, and BBI Iain is up north as the coalition forces. Now in the previous game Iain went for a quick AAV rush, and on Kalash D, since it's a pretty small map, that was quite effective, and that secured his win later in the game. We'll see if Iain will decide to go for the same tactic and the same plan, while I'm once again quickly opening the second bulkhead and starting to long haul resources from that bulkhead, focusing on construction units. Iain has already sent out his base runner, as he likes to do, and he's once again going for the artifact that is closest to me, and this artifact is also closest to his extraction zone. Iain is now just starting to open up his his first bulkhead, and he's producing some LAVs, or at least one LAV, to scout around and see what I'm up to. Similarly, I have also made a skimmer to see what's going on out on the map. Now, since Kharak has lots of these side blockers, and the layout of the bases and the whole map is not very predisposed to massed railguns or the usage of railguns, I have decided to go for assault ships, and hopefully that will pay off for me. Now BBI Iain already has an AAV out on the field and is headed straight towards my base. Iain is pumping out AVs, 2 AVs on the field, and the base runner is moving the first artifact to his extraction zone, and there is the first probe from BBI Iain, and he will soon see what I'm up to, and he will also see that I'm being quite greedy once again, having already opened up my second bulkhead, and we'll see if this will cause any change in direction from these AVs. I'm causing a small amount of trouble for Iain with that lone sand skimmer, while in the middle here my sand skimmer is being picked off by the AAV and the LAV. Iain is producing more AAVs and moving his carrier towards his expansion to help kill this sand skimmer. I immediately move it off, and Iain also captures his first artifact, so the score is 1-0. In the meantime, Iain has also built another base runner, so it seems that he will try and focus on lots of early artifact captures, and Iain's AAV is now moving, to disrupt and cause as much damage as possible to my resourcing, and my assault ship was just constructed and will help with the defense. Now the AVs have managed to kill 3 salvagers straight off. My second production cruiser is now out, and a LAV is causing some trouble here for my salvagers. He is going to kill a full salvager, which will pay off quite nicely for him. But now I have 2 assault ships on the field, which should be able to deal with the AAVs and the LAV quite nicely, and my carrier is now free to at least move about, since both those production cruisers already have refinery tech, and I'm just chasing off those AVs to make sure they don't cause any more trouble. Iain is mining from his first expansion and has picked up 2 artifacts, which will boost his power once again. And since I'm chasing off these AVs and the assault ships are already in that general area, I'm just moving them up to the extraction zone to hopefully chase off these base runners, or maybe even destroy one. At this point in time, just trying to cause as much trouble to BBI Iain. The assault ships are moving out over the map, and Iain is being a bit more careful with his base runners, since he knows there are 2 assault ships somewhere on the map. He maybe thinks that I'm still chasing his AV, but we'll see how this plays out. Nothing much going on right now. Assault ships moving to Iain's second bulkhead to see if any salvagers are already there, and assault ships are quite good at picking off clumped units, and salvagers tend to clump up. In the meantime, I'm mining from all 3 mining locations, and now the base runners are trying to move in and get a good capture, but these assault ships will chase them off. The 2 assault ships that I sent over have now found some targets, and they're going to pick off at least 1 salvager, as Iain had just sent him over to start mining there. And now, as soon as I see this clump of salvagers here, the assault ships are going to focus fire that, and that will hopefully bring down all 4 of them quite quickly. The AAVs are proving ineffective against the assault ships. The assault ships have a armor upgrade, and now this assault ship has gained quite a few levels. Let's see if anything else is going on. Just trying to distract Iain as much as possible with those assault ships, so I can try and take out these base runners and the turrets that they are placing. 2 assault ships cause considerable damage to the base runner and take out the turret that's underneath it with their AoE damage. Let's see. Iain now has railguns on the field, and those have defended that push from those assault ships. And just 1 makes it out alive. I'm still not sure at this point if Iain is just waiting for a good opportunity, or if I actually have him on the back foot. And from these assault ships I can just see those railguns moving in and so I'm sending these sand skimmers in to support the assault ships. The assault ships get hit by railguns and almost immediately eliminated, and now the sand skimmers will hopefully take out these weakened railguns. One goes down, the second one goes down, third one goes down. So the sand skimmers did their job, took out those railguns, and the assault ships were successful in blocking these base runners from capturing the artifacts. The base runner, that base runner is quite low. Probably wasn't paying attention. I could have taken him out. And in the meantime, I've constructed some interceptors, and I'm now scouting around to see if I can pick off the targets of opportunity. Now, of course, if I knew that base runner was so low, I would have just tried to nuke it. As soon as I see the support cruiser, I try to attack it and take it down with my interceptors, but unfortunately I'm one interceptor short. You usually need 4 interceptors to take out the support cruiser in one attack run. And now Iain is trying to push back my units out on the map, and since I know he has railguns in the back, I'm pulling back my assault ships. They're still taking pot shots at these AAVs, but they get away safely. In the meantime, I've managed to pick up an artifact. I'm trying to capture it so that I'll at least even out the score, and so I'll boost up my carrier a bit. And this assault ship is still causing trouble for Iain, taking out any salvagers that are coming to the second bulkhead, and it takes out 2 salvagers. That should have hurt Iain quite a bit, and the interceptors are now just picking off lone units out in the field. There is no AA out at the moment, except for the missile battery back in Iain's base. So these interceptors should make short work of these railguns if they still have any missiles left. There we go. And Iain has to retreat. He has captured both of those artifacts, so the score is now 3-0. The assault ships are now trying to chase down the base runners, or at least cause some more damage. But Iain definitely has the army advantage at the moment. He has more units out on the field. I'm just now starting to produce heavy railguns, 5 out, and those should even the odds quite a bit. Iain was forced to move his carrier to that location, but I just moved the assault ship further in, and the AoE damage from the assault ship is just devastating to these clumps of salvagers. And that assault ship really did its job, took out a bunch of salvagers before falling to those railguns. Iain's base runner is still trying to pick up artifacts and get them back to safety to his base, but now I have more units out on the field, including railguns, and the base runners fall quickly. I can't believe this base runner is still alive. It's still the one that the assault ships almost got. Hopefully I'll take it out, because that would be just a bit embarrassing. Iain now moving out with his force. That skimmer is positioned just right to spot all of this unit, this clump of units moving out. And I'm now just figuring that the best thing to do is to try and use my force and attack Iain's main base and force him to move his units back, so that my carrier can move around either to the middle of the map or towards his expansions. Assault ships doing some scout work. They get quite a few shots in, but a railgun is dealing quite a bit of damage to them. And this force right here could prove quite a thorn if Iain just moves it into my heavy railguns. He has more than enough AVs to plop down smoke and advance right into them. But I guess he's opting to... Is he? No, he is moving into them. He is moving into the force of assault ships and heavy railguns. And as soon as the support cruiser is spotted, the heavy railguns open fire. The assault ships move in to cause as much damage as possible up close. Now that the AVs are exposed, the assault ships are going to move in, and the AoE damage from those shots will quickly whittle down the AAVs. Nice smoke here from Iain, preventing the railguns from firing on the AAVs, but they can still shoot the railguns that are a bit off and away from the smoke. Smoke clears. Now the railguns have clear sightlines, or well, had them if these dunes weren't here in the way. Assault ships moving in, and my carrier has arrived at Iain's second expansion and is now causing trouble for him there. All the while, this large force of assault ships and railguns is just moving in and obliterating anything that Iain has there. Hopefully this base runner will die now. It's still alive. Ah, there we go. Assault railgun finally puts it out of its misery. Iain is now right between my carrier and my force of assault ships and railguns, but Iain's carrier has all of its power pumped into the weapon system, so it deals quite a bit of damage, and if it's supported by railguns, my carrier could die very quickly. It's now down to 69%, so I've dumped almost all of my carrier power into speed to get away from it, and I'm now trying to regenerate my carrier. Of course, my force is now coming in from behind, and all of these railguns should go down. The heavy railguns fire from far, taking out railguns quickly. The assault ships will take out the missile ship, and the interceptors will now deal with any stragglers on the field. I managed to capture another artifact in the meantime, so the score is now 3-2 to Iain's carrier, with all that power in its weapon systems. It's making short work of my force, and I realized that too late. And as you can see, almost all of my army has been lost to Iain's carrier. But now I feel that I can just move in with my powered up carrier, pump up power into the weapon system, and hopefully deal enough damage to the carrier to take it down. I still have 2 heavy railguns and 2 assault ships that are dealing some damage to the carrier. And since Iain didn't put any power into his range systems, those assault ships and heavy railguns were able to survive this long. Now he's caught up to them, and of course the railguns go down first, since those are the most threat to him at the moment. I'm trying to reinforce my position with more assault railguns and heavy railguns, and now I'm just using the missile barrage ability from the Gaussian carrier to make sure that Iain can't escape in that direction. And now the carrier deals the final blow to Iain's coalition carrier, and that's the end of this game. Well, like I said in the beginning, Totem Critter is quite good for any kind of assault ship attacks, since they can sort of lurk behind all of these obstacles, and if railguns have to move towards them, they can ambush them, and there are quite a few spots where you can hide units so that railguns can't reach them effectively. So this play paid off quite nicely for me, and it seemed that all of these little attacks on one side and on the other distracted Iain enough so that I could build up my force, and all of the action was basically on Iain's side of the map, and that helped secure victory for my forces. Great, so that's game 2. The score is now 1-1, and let's see what happens next.